be aware. Okay. So I'd like to remind you about the project, but first let me show you what to expect today. So these are all our project partners, not all the participants, because you are obviously from more organizations. 24 CSOs are joining right now. If somebody cannot get into the room, please let me know. So what to expect today? Today, I warmly welcome you, and we will have another little activity to warm up and to know a little more about you, about the audience that we have today in the room. I will quickly share some highlights, some general information about No Label project for those of you who are the first time in this training and the first time participate in the activity, though the alliance members of this project started already half year ago, but this is our indeed first capacity building training. Then we will have some presentations by our partners, alliance members in this project. I will also share with you the non-formal education materials on the topic Artivism. And we will finish participating all in creative and interactive workshop that will be led by also one of the partners, and you will know about them very soon. But I'd like to start by knowing a little bit better you. So I invite you to participate in a very short questionnaire, to fill a very short questionnaire on Mentimeter. And I will share this is the QR code that you can scan with your mobile device and move to Mentimeter and answer a couple of questions. Or you can use the link that I'm going to send to the chat if it's more convenient to some of you. I hope you can see now the results of our little review. This is interactive. All right, so now we know a little bit better about who is around us. Let me see. Can you see the Mentimeter screen right now? Yes, very good. So thank you for the feedback, because this is what. So I see that most of you come from some other fields of activities that are mentioned here. So I'm very curious if some of you who replied other can just speak up and say, what do you do for living? What is your life activity? What is your job? Because we see a lot, of course, youth trainers and youth workers and teachers that we expect to see here, and our associated partners from nonprofit and civil society organizations. But those who replied other, can you please just maybe some of you share, what do you do?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Patin, please.
I'm an intern, so I'm actually a student, but in my free time, I have spring break right now. I just wanted to do something to use my time more effectively, I guess.
All right, thank you. Very, very welcome. I hope it will be relevant and interesting for you. Anybody else? Who is this mystical category other? Maybe you chose it exactly to hide this information, so maybe you don't want to share, which is, if you want to share something, just speak up.
I am Warda. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, very good.
I participated at the Act as a Donut project, and now I'm participating at the No Label project. And I'm also kind of like working here. I just started, so I'm new to everything. So yeah.
Welcome to the training. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so this is the audience that we didn't take into consideration, that also volunteers and youth, one of the target audiences of our project will join. So here, let's move to the second question. So I'm very interested. So how new will be the information that we will be sharing today? And I see that many of you answered that you already use different artistic tools in your work, and some of you don't. But I believe that today both categories will learn something new. I really hope that and this is the aim of our training. Thank you very much for sharing. Let's go back to the main session. And I will, as I promised, remind you a little bit about what the project is about, or if it's new information for you, then now you can know official information. So this is the international projects for 2 years, where 6 different countries participate, and this is, you see on the screen, from Balkans, from Central Europe, and from Western Europe. So it's quite a broad selection of countries working together. And in these countries, we work with the civil society organizations, social enterprises, with the schools, with the different educational organizations. So we work on the same goal, that we want to share and learn and to educate young people about sustainable lifestyles and conscious consumerism, and mostly focusing on fashion industry as a very representative area where all these topics are very related and very boldly you can see the impact of fashion industry on all these related areas that we want to educate youth and youth trainers how to work on these topics with young people. And this is what is our main goal in the project. And we do it using methodology, so-called theory of change, where we use certain methods: engage, connect, and empower. These are the steps where we mobilize and mobilize young people, but also educational network and civil society organizations. We make them connect, and we create perspective, and give tools, and build capacity together with them to continue working on the civil society level. And today our topic is artivism, and artivism comes from art, of course, and activism. It's a combination. So how you can use art for social change. And I want first to give a floor to Barbara, from one of our partners in the Netherlands in this project, from organization All One. And Barbara will share with us how they already use art in their work, in their organization, to work with youth. So Barbara, the stage is yours. So next several minutes we have full attention, and please note what is maybe already examples for you. Barbara, welcome.
Yes.
And I will stop sharing and let you share your screen.
Thank you, Natalia. So I've been All One was started in 2003. Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we hear perfectly.
Excellent. I see some I recognize faces. Nice, from the boot camp. That's lovely. All One, I started actually in 2003, and let me just give you a little introduction how I started, because that is pure artivism, and I didn't know it was artivism at that point. there was a really cool conversation about somebody who had set up Peace One Day. That's a really well-known director. It has become the International Day of Peace. I was so inspired. I was living in the center of Amsterdam. I grabbed some chalk that I had. I grabbed a friend that I had there who had a guitar, and we ran outside and we went to a square next to the very big Peace statue. And we started really intuitively just talking, anything, all kinds of expression about peace. That could be anything. And people came by and I gave them chalk and they started chalking as well. Does everybody know what chalk is, by the way? What, the stuff that you write on that children use as well on the
On
ground.
the roads, yeah, on the
On the
ground.
roads. So it became this huge, big chalk painting, and everybody was having fun. And we were talking about a central topic that was peace. And it was on the International Day of Peace, and the chalk painting grew, and there were buses came by with youth, and they tumbled out, and we gave them chalk, and it was amazing. And I thought, wow, this is so cool. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I want to just use fun and creativity to talk about serious subjects, and that became serious fun. So without me knowing it, in 2003, I had started Artivism, just like you guys at MasterPeace started Artivism. And it must have been the butterfly effect of all one, maybe, who knows. So Artivism has been in our DNA from the beginning. And I'm going to show you a few little presentations because I don't have that much time, of course. And I have a question as well, just a general question. Is the newsletter already available?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was sent to the partners.
Yeah, last Friday.
Last Friday. And is there
And the project was there. Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
weird if you didn't receive it because you should be in our database, of course, but we will check that and I hope you will.
Okay,
also
so I
get
don't
it.
have to mention that
But
one.
it's out.
Oh, I also didn't get, I mean, I only get newsletter from Germany, from my organization, but if MasterPeace sends something, then I also didn't get it.
Okay, so we still have to get that. That's good administrative things. Okay, without further ado, because I have to do some time management here, I'm going to share my screen. And now I see, yeah, here it is. Okay, you are going to see the presentation that I made a long time ago. Delen. Does everybody see my yellow screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. What does your neighborhood need? I'm just going to flick through the images. And I'm going to presume, I'm just going to go through them. I hope that if I go too fast, I'll hear about it. Because all one does creative community building. We always use creativity to connect people with themselves, with the environment, and certainly groups that are normally, that don't get on with each other. You see here, for example, residents that call the police because it's the youth are making noise or whatever. Then instead of calling the police, how about bringing them together and letting them make a creative product together? That's much more fun. So it's all about connecting, like I said, connecting through creativity. Because if you were to ask me what is the solution to all the wars in the world, I would very simply state, how about getting to know each other? I think if we get to know each other and find the common ground, the all one ground, and we use creativity for this, then I think there would be very little war or even no war. That's my very simple assumption. And I think that MasterPeace is all about that as well. So we're very much alike, MasterPeace and all one. So this is oh, I don't know, the youth, and they're hanging around in the streets, they're making noise, blah, blah. So we bring them together. And we do that, for example, through poetry routes. So we make poems with residents along certain routes, and we bring them into their environment. We do, for example, let me see here, we make audio tours with the youth and the people that are experiencing a lot of hassle from them. We bring them together. These are all different forms of artivism. You just use the creative method that is suitable at that moment. Because with older people, maybe you won't be rapping. But with younger people, maybe you won't be sewing clothes or anything. You just have to really know who your target group is, and then you will know which kind of creative method you can use. So I think that's an important thing with Artivism as well. You can't just use any method for any kind of group. Just get to know your group and see where the lights go on, and then you can use that creative method. And then by creating the products together, so for example, here we have this mural that you see here. This was actually after a month of doing workshops on identity, different creative workshops on identity. And the outcomes of those workshops, that was for the, you'll see it here. See how big it is, huh? Because he is actually making the mural, and the mural is 500 square meters, so it's enormous. And that's a result of all the inspiration from a month-long creative workshops on identity with youth. So bringing it back into the environment is another thing I think is important with Artivism. So not just exploring the subject through art, making the product using art, but also bringing it back into the environment of the people, the participants, so that the impact is bigger. So these are different examples. So how many minutes do I have left, Natalia?
Well, I think you still have about 3-5 minutes,
Okay,
including questions if there are any right now, or
yeah, okay,
they can
yeah,
be asked later.
let's do some questions first. Yeah.
You can, yeah, if you're ready with everything.
I'm not ready yet, but I think this is a general one. So if there's already some questions, please do ask them.
Anybody?
Yeah, so Artivism for me is basically using art to connect people, talk about a social issue, and by making it together, it's a very equivalent way. Anybody can join in the process. So even if you don't think you're creative, or even if you don't speak the language, you can make coffee for the people that are making the art or whatever. Everybody can be part of the process. I think that's important. And bringing back the creative product into the environment. Yeah.
Okay, I like, and you do this in the neighborhood. So you use this first level of connection, neighbors and communities that are linked through living next to each other.
Yes, and also groups that do not get on with each other. I think that's really one of our specialties, is that we actually bring people together, like residents that would protest against the arrival of refugees because they are scared of losing their homes or their work, which, I mean, statistically is not true, but they have this image that that's going to happen. And it's also because they have a certain perspective on it. They also have problems getting housing or work. So then it's seen as a threat. By finding the common ground, in this case, we did a traveling exhibition called Our Stories. The common ground was dreams and memories. So by connecting, by talking about dreams and memories in this traveling exhibition with poems, then you could find the common ground. And then afterwards, you can talk about the differences. And then you will see that the refugees are just people who also have dreams and memories. So it's about showing the human side, the humanity of people as well. And then Natalia, we also connected with policy. So you have the level, you have the local neighborhood level, then you have we call that the micro, of course, then you have the meso, which is like the layer in between, which would be the masterpieces and the all ones and the social and the welfare organizations. And then you have the policy, which could either be community policy or let's say county council or national policy. And those three, the bottom up and the top down and everything in between, when they work together and they know what the common ground is, why they are doing things together, or why the makers have to know about the residents. The residents have to know that the policymakers are also humans who are trying their best to make the policy right. So those three levels together. Any questions?
What I'm curious about is when you, let's say, detect a problem in your community, how do you start?
It's very different. Yeah. In this case, there are stories. There was a big protest with pickets and everything. So then immediately my social heart, my artivist heart gets activated, and I think about a thing, which creative method is good, because I can't bring them together again. So a traveling exhibition is the best one, because then you can go to the public places where these residents are that are protesting, and then you can have the conversation. But it could be an organization. For example, we did something with the little brothers of boys that were like heavy criminals. So it was a prevention program. So that's the county council came to us and we want to make sure that they don't go into the same criminal path. But then you don't do a traveling exhibition with them. So I thought, okay, what's the best creative method? So we went climbing in a climbing hall, which is like 15 meters up, which is a long way up. Certainly if you've never climbed. And we asked them to climb first with no introduction whatsoever. I call that creativity as well. And only on the way back did we ask them questions about what are you afraid of? Is the group very strong? Well, all kinds of questions, because then the answers come from your body. Because that group will not talk about their feelings very much, because they may be not in contact with their feelings, but also because of the strong group dynamics. It's not cool to talk about your feelings. So you find another creative method to be able to get the answers and to be able to get the knowledge that's inside them.
Yeah,
So there's many different ways.
That's a little bit on the sports. Sounds like a sports for peace, and this is also one of the Artivism methods.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you, Barbara. I think we have to go on with our agenda today. I see that your experiences are going after these groups of people that may be involved. Maybe they never thought of even proactively coming and joining any group or activities of that sort. But when you come to them with artistic projects, this is where connection happens. And of course, Artivism and the forms that you mentioned, and poetry and rap and visual arts, this is all what we also use in our work. And we see that it does work, it does create impact. And thank you very much. We will continue. Yeah.
Maybe just one last point, because we were talking about the impact as well, eh? And art, and you will know this as well, but using these methods, it saves money. It saves money in the short term, and it saves money in the long term for governments, because people are happier and more connected, so they make less use of the institutions. So it just makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There is also this reasoning behind it. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your work, and let's continue all together. And now I will take just a few moments to present to you the non-formal education materials that some of you, those who replied that you are a teacher or youth worker or youth trainer, coach, will be using in the projects along with this no label project, because in our in this project we develop these materials for being used in formal but also non-formal or also formal education. Doesn't matter, the settings really doesn't matter, can be used in class, so offline, can be used in blended formats, can be used in online versions. And today I will just quickly share what you can expect, because after this meeting we will reach out to you, sharing the materials that you later can use, start using in your work in this project and also outside of this project. So whenever you want to think of a creative workshop or session, you can go back to this material. So the materials that we create in terms of this project are on the topic of artivism, and another one is about donut economics. And I believe all of you are also invited to the second part of our capacity building training on the 8th of November, just reminding it to you here. And this is at 8th of November, Donut Economics. By the way, 8th of November is International Global Donut Day. If you don't know what is Donut Day or what is donuts and in connection with economics, so very much welcome. In 2 weeks, we will see you there. So now to Artivism materials, and this is a handbook that you will get access to, called Artivism, Art for Social Change. And this handbook you will get in you will be able to use in your local national language, because it's created in English, but then translated into all project participating countries. So this will be available in Romanian, Polish, and Dutch, and German, so other languages of the project. So this is what you will have access to. What to expect from this handbook? The target group that we want to reach with this materials is primarily youth trainers and teachers that will use these materials to navigate young people through the workshops on artivism. And in this particular project, the goal is to create, in the end, a fashion item, a hoodie that will bear a slogan with some call for action, maybe, or reflection on the topic of fashion and conscious consumerism. So young people, like some of you here in this online room, will be participating maybe in these trainings, or will be trained. This is for whom the final materials are made. And when it comes to the content of these materials, it contains theoretical information about what is artivism, which we touched just slightly today. What is artivism? How to use, what are the artistic tools that can be used for social change? And Barbara just mentioned some of them. And it's, of course, all types of poetry, which can be songs, or pop songs, can be rap, can be slam poetry, can be just poetry, different visual arts, and drawings of paintings, of photographs. It can be street art, graffitis, or murals. So there are a lot of possibilities to work with art, and this is all what you will learn from this book. See the examples. And in the second part of the training, of the handbook, there is a detailed plan for the workshop, about 2 hours, 1.5, 2 hours workshop, to run it with the young people on the topic of artivism, and leading to creating through the creative brainstorming, leading to create this slogan for the no label campaign project to be put on the fashion item hoodie. And for the easy use of by teachers, this handbook contains, next to the detailed session plan for the workshop, all necessary other information, like handouts, presentation, and manuals, and links to the materials, and links to more information. So when you use this handbook, you can just, well, I cannot promise you that you can just walk into the class and read from the handbook. It needs some preparation from the trainer's side, of course, but you will be able to use, for example, presentation adjusted for your school, for your organization, change it in a way, add maybe some additional materials, additional visuals. So use it, make it your own. So this is about the non-formal education materials that you will get access to after this training. We will also share with you a link to an invitation to join our online learning platform, where you can find trainings on the topics of artivism and donut economics, and find more materials, and just learn on your own in the self-paced format. So that's about materials for non-formal education. And before I invite Anela to speak and start our active session, so I want to ask if there are any questions about non-formal education materials or format, how you will receive it or what you have to do with them. Any questions are welcome if you have any, or you can, if you don't want to or cannot right now come up with anything, then you can always ask your contact person in your country at MasterPeace Club organization you work with, one of the partners. It's Grow United or MasterPeace Romania or Education for You, or like your organization contact person back in your country. So there all the answers you can receive. And now I want to invite you all to turn on your cameras, because we're now entering the interactive part of the workshop, and just generally want to remind you that, of course, for a speaker who is in front of the screen talking to you, it's a bit disappointing when you just talk to the black little quadrants, because definitely you see the speaker's face or a presentation, and this is the nice in online format. But when you're not in front of the public in offline format, it's really nice to see all your beautiful faces. And now I invite Anela to lead us through the next interactive part of our workshop, and I will stop sharing and invite Anela to share. Anela is our partner from Germany, a partner organization. And maybe you can introduce your business in the best way. So welcome, and I stop sharing.
Thanks a lot, Natalia, and I'm happy to be here today, and I'm happy you all managed to come. I must to disappoint you, but this is not so interactive because there was a bit miscommunication maybe, but I prepared some materials to show you actually how I work with my own brand to use it as some kind of impulse or like kind of frame we can use in creative our artivism piece of clothing.
Will you need to use breakout rooms, because this is what I no, you won't. Okay.
I just wanted to show you, for example, how we can work in breakouts with youth, because I imagine this as like that we are not going to create anything here, and this is actually what I wanted to show how we can do it with youth.
Okay, we could also try. We are open for co-creation.
First, I wanted to ask you to help me to share my presentation.
Okay, you want me to share it? Okay.
Yeah. So I need to go to this. Sorry, I never worked in Zoom before.
Yeah. Oh, really? They're a true newcomer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations. Still, there are first times in life.
I usually was only a listener.
Maybe you can, while I'm preparing your presentation, you can tell us about your organization and what role you will be playing also in this project.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Anela, as Natalia said. I'm the founder of Woman Force. We are a small sustainable streetwear brand from Germany. And we are actually also using artivism without knowing that. but now we know when we met you. We try to raise awareness about gender stereotypes through the quotes and illustrations on our t-shirts on one side, and on the other side we try to create a visible impact in a way that we are giving back to organizations who do precise projects and programs towards gender equality. I wanted actually to lead you to a process we are using with our brand in coming up to ideas we can use as some kind of frame to create a hoodie in this project. So we can go to the next slide. So here is a short overview. So first, what I find important here is to understand what, for whom, and how we are going to do. That means what message do we want to send with our sweatshirt. I wrote sweatshirt because I left that open. You said hoodie. Yeah, maybe it's first good to have some insight about prices and everything, and then decide at the end. Then the second important question we need to answer is, who is this sweatshirt for? After that, how do we want to communicate this message we are going to create? After that, second step is like, after we answered all these important questions, then we can go on ideation process. And at the end, I wanted to give you some insights about the production. We can go to the next slide, or I can make it. So understanding what, for whom, and how. These are basically the things you need to ask yourself when you are creating your own brand, and this is the same here if we want to create something meaningful. So what message? First thing we need to ask ourselves is, what message do we want to send with our sweatshirt? In this case, that could be, for example, that sustainable fashion and conscious lifestyle are beneficial for both people and the planet. I will also give you an example of our t-shirt. For example, we have a t-shirt with a quote, humanity is what unites us, with a nice illustration. And what we wanted to communicate here is like, we are all humans, ergo we are all equal, and also that shared humanity is something that's stronger than any stereotype. Okay, thanks a lot. So I wasn't quite sure how is this whole ideation process is going to look like, since we are 6 countries. So what I wrote down here is like a scenario that we are doing all online. That's why I wrote brain writing activity in this breaking sessions, but actually I chatted with Donna, and we both agreed that it would be nicer if we could do communication of both. And then I was thinking maybe the whole like practical work is something each country can do with their own youth, and then for each step, let's say we decide on one idea, and then we vote on a level of all countries. and the best idea for every step will then be produced. So let's go please on the next step. So who is this sweatshirt for? That's second question we need to ask ourselves, but I think that's a pretty easy one since we are working with youngsters 18 till 35 years old. So I suppose that's also the target group we are creating for. So actually, we just need to sit with them and see what they like, what interests they have. And for example, now one of the tools I was talking about when I imagined we will work in online setting would be Pinterest board, where they can gather everything that it inspires the design process, everything that reflects their fashion style, I don't know, brands they like, artists they like, music they listen, hobbies this target group has, and anything related to sustainability that they maybe see as a valuable inspiration. But of course, in offline setting, there is so many other opportunities to get our inspiration. For example, I also remembered yesterday that years ago I watched this amazing documentary movie, Wasted Land. It's also like a big artivism project, and then maybe we can also have one session with youngsters where we are watching short movies or one documentary movie to just spark inspiration. Then we can go to the next slide. Also, last but very important question is, how do we want to communicate the message? In a matter of first design and then in a matter of communication. When we think about design, for example, we need to decide on the best format, of course. Should that be something minimalist with just a quote, or would an illustration be better, or maybe we want a combination of both, or maybe that doesn't need to be illustration but photography, or we will see that when we come together and when we see maybe what talents our youngsters have, and upon that we can also decide at the end if one of them or some of them are talented for drawing or something, and then we can create together. We can go to the next slide. When we go talk about communication, we need to think about, do we lean into positive affirmations, encouraging empowerment and motivation, or we maybe want to use prohibitive language to challenge stereotypes and norms. On one side, positive affirmations can inspire a sense of empowerment and hope. But on the other hand, prohibitive tones such as phrases like "don't limit yourself" can also serve to challenge the status quo. So this is also something to think about. We can go to the next slide. And actually, when we can also go.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, when we answer these three questions, and on the way we also gather the inspiration, then it's easy to come up with idea, I think. And yeah, that's at the end, like maybe every country can submit one idea, and then all together, all countries, all youngsters can then vote for the best one. And at the end, I also wanted to tell you how this production process looks a bit. What things are to consider here. For example, blank supplier, I listed here. That's maybe more interesting for like the project for itself, like which suppliers are the best. I tried all of them, and they are all great. But yeah, some are not so yeah, customer friendly. And if you will want, and when we come to this step that we need to order blanks, then we can give you all inside, also prices and everything, because yeah. And also what type of clothing. I maybe at the end it will be to consider not to go with hoodie, but with something that's maybe cheaper, because prices are pretty wild from month to month. So yeah, hoodies are amazing, but we still don't have hoodies because of that reason. And we can go to the next and the last slide. Here I wanted to point out what kind of printing options we have if it comes to yeah, really printing illustration or something. And this is in order from the best to the worst. We tried all of them, and I can say securely that transfer print is the best, because the colors are not washing out. And it's pretty much the process you can control on your own, because you just need a heat press, and we have a heat press if it comes to point that we are also going to produce it. Yeah, we can discuss all this stuff. And the last question, also very important, is how large is our batch is going to be, because blank and print prices depend on a batch, of course. So that was so much from me. I hope I didn't kill you. And if you have any questions or any ideas how we could work the best on this ideation process with our youngsters, yeah, that would be great.
Thank you, Anela. Thank you for letting us in a little bit, like sneak into your kitchen, professional kitchen, and sharing with us some professional secrets. Maybe, but in MasterPeace, we believe in the world with open source information. So all knowledge is for everybody. And we will share this presentation, your method of artivism, as you discovered in this project. We will share it together with our our no label Artivism handbook with non-formal education materials. And because this is one of the parts of the workshops that those of you who are working in the field of education and will be working and implementing the project no label with your students, with your youth that you work together, you can use this method of woman force of that Anela shared with us. And in the handbook, there are other ways described how to brainstorm and come up with creative ideas. Two other methods that also can be used. So now you will have way more options to create, and we hope that later we can even look even more into your creative process in your kitchen and see how you actually produce. Maybe we will discuss it later, how you actually produce what you describe in your business, how it's actually happening. And for some of our partners here, it will be also interesting because we have the schools that work with also designing and producing and learning how to design and produce clothes. So this is will be also interesting to know for them. But I invite you now, if you have questions, to Anela about their method of their organization. If you have questions about these materials, so how and when you will receive them, please raise your hand and we will give you a word. And then we will be saying goodbyes, virtual hugs, and then we will see you in the next training on donut economics.
I think Barbara has a question.
Yep, Barbara, please.
I don't have a connection, but I have a collaboration idea, and I think Yarima and Natalia will not be surprised. But wouldn't it be fantastic? We have our annual yearly festival on the International Day of Peace. Wouldn't it be in September next year? Wouldn't it be really cool that all the products, as in a catwalk or something, that on the stage we can show, we can have the youth come up and show what they made, and it can be like a little catwalk, and we can celebrate it with all the public.
Yeah, we definitely plan in the project, as some of you know, there will be a festival or hackathon where we will invite young people to present their workshops, their ideas, their products. And in the Netherlands, maybe it will be exactly on that day connection, or because for other countries, maybe it won't be possible, but this is a good idea to use such events. So definitely, yes. Anybody has any questions to the speakers or to me about the materials? If there are no questions right now, I will remind you to, when you have questions, to address to your contact person in the MasterPeace Club in your country. In this project, and we will by the end of this week, definitely tomorrow or Friday, we'll send you a reminder about next training session on donut economics, and share with you all the materials that were mentioned today and presentations of our speakers and handbook, so that you can basically start working with your students on this project right away. With this, I will stop sharing and stop recording to say thank you everybody for gathering, and for some of you it's pretty late. In Romania it's 1 hour later than in other countries that are now present here. So but anyway, for Dutch people, I know it's also pretty late to have a work meeting at 6:30. But thank you everybody